Welcome to Tales from Nerd. I'm your host, Around Nerd 2016 / Kevin. And of course, this is my weekly podcast where I talk about the comics being released. And this month, we're talking about the comics being released this month on May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, aka the day of my birth. Yeah, by the time this is uploaded, it's Tuesday, but it doesn't really matter. But yeah, comics. I am still behind. I'm so behind, but yeah, before I get into the books, let's see what this man has to say for the week. Buncake. Alright, we're going to be talking about Marvel, DC, and Marvel, DC, and independent comics. Of course, if you want to pick up your DC books, they do come out on Tuesday. If you want to pick up your Marvel indies, they come out on regular Wednesdays. And, oh, I forgot to put these guys in place. Un momento. There we go. But yeah, less books this week. Thank God, because I'm so far behind. But yeah, let's move on to the first book of the week, which is a Marvel comic. We got Amazing Spider-Man number 65, written by Nick Spencer, art by Federico Vincentini and Federico Sabatini, colors by Alex Sinclair, letter by Joe Caramagna, designer by Anthony Gambino, cover art by Mark Bagley and Brian Reber and John Dell. The price of the book is $3.99, and of course, this is a description of the book. It's all-out war. All the super crime lords of the Marvel U are competing at the whims of Mayor Fisk. Their task? Get the tablets of life and destiny and death and entropy. Also, kill Boomerang. Spider-Man, Randy, and Robbie Robertson are caught in the crossfire. So King Drasm is this three-part story that's going on, but to be honest, Nick Spencer's been hiding the story since issue... let's see. Since issue probably 60... No, not 64. Way earlier. I believe issue 42. So, yeah, it's been a while. He's picking up the story right there, but we're also getting stuff with Kindred. We might be getting answers to Kindred pretty soon, hopefully more. So, I'm totally down. If you want to jump on issue, I believe 60 is your jumping on point. Issue 61 is your perfect jumping off point. So there we go. Next up, we got a DC comic property. We got Batman 108. It's written by James Tynion IV, art by Ricardo Lopez Ortiz, and art by George Jimenez, who does the cover art as well, and cover art by Tome Moreau, letter by Clayton Coles, and the price of the book is $4.99. And of course, this is a description of the book. Batman goes undercover to infiltrate the transhumanist gang known as the Unsanity Collective and learn more about their sudden appearance in Gotham. And what nefarious plans does Simon Saint have for Arkham Days survivor Sean Mahoney? How does it connect to the Magistrate? And in this part 2 of the action-packed, bone-rattling Ghostmaker backup story, can our hero stand up to the horror of Kid Kawaii? Plus, don't miss the doubt of the mysterious Miracle Molly. So yes, Batman, after Joker War, he's met a new ally / old enemy / friend in Ghostmaker. You get his origin a little bit more in 107 in the backup, and we're getting the second backup story with this. So if you want to know what's going on, 106 is like your perfect jumping off point. But that's kind of hard to find right now because 106 sold out. But, of course, there's variants, and also you can wait for a trade for this. But if you want to jump on this story right now, 106 or Infinite Frontier and 106 is your jumping on point. Next up, under the DC comic property, we got Batman / FortniteZeroPoint number 2, written by, story by Donald Mustard, written by Christos Gage, penciled by Riley Brown, inker by Nelson DeCastro, colors by John Caliz, letter by End World Design, and cover art by Michael Janin. The price of the book is $4.99, and of course, this is a description of the book. Batman is trapped on the island, unable to speak, his memory gone, having to fight to survive against the deadliest warriors of countless worlds. Can even the world's greatest detective escape this trap when time itself reverts every 22 minutes? And will the presence of someone else from Gotham City, a familiar feline fatale, help or hinder his efforts, especially when they don't remember each other? In another life, they were enemies, friends, partners, but here on the island, they could do anything but battle to the death. Okay, I haven't read Batman Fortnite 0.1 because I'm so far behind, but I'm totally down. The concept's cool. Let's just bring Batman into a world that he doesn't know, no memory. He has to solve it all on his own, and 6 issues. So I'm totally down for this. And you know what? If you want to pick it up, pick it up. I'm hearing it's selling out like crazy. Uh if you want, I mean, everyone's hunting down because of the digital code. I am grabbing it because I want another Batman story. Because you know what? DC only gives us Batman. But yeah. Jumping on point issue 1 if you want to pick it up. We're going to move on to the next book, which is a Marvel property. We got Carnage, Black, White, and Blood #3, written by Dan Slott, art and cover art by Greg Smallwood. The price of the book is $4.99, and of course, this is the description of the book. Take a walk down memory lane with Spider-Man scribe Dan Slott and Savage Avenger illustrator Greg Smallwood as they unleash a tale of psychological terror against a backdrop of maximum carnage that'll have you seeing red. I love these one-shot stories. I'm guessing this is just one issue, but it's saying it's having more. I hope there's more people because it looks like from the cover there's more people, but that's all the descriptions give me, so maybe that's just it. I don't know. But we'll see. But I'm telling you, Dan, I like the first issue. I haven't read the second issue, but think about these issues. You don't need to pick them all. Just pick them up, and if you like it, you like it. That's all you need to know about that book. Next up, we got an Image comic. We got Image Comics. We got a Commanders in Crisis #8, written by Steve Orlando, art and cover art by Davide Tinto, I think. And of course, the price is $3.99. And of course, this is the description of the book. End of story arc. Despite the Crisis Command's best efforts, reality is turning more toxic by the day. While Prizefighter runs with American Dreamer, Seer investigates the hidden origins of mass heroism. Can the Crisis Command learn fast enough to stop the Extinction Society from pushing Earth past past the point of no return? Commanders of Crisis. I'm enjoying it. It's a fun concept. It's a fun concept. It's not for everyone. It's not for everyone. But what I like about this book is just what if we did Crisis, but like on every Earth, but we've only had one person from each Earth come to this main Earth to prevent that what happened to Earth to this Earth. That's a concept. I like the concept. Pretty cool. And each one of them was present. If you dig the book, read the trade. If you want to hunt down the issues, go right ahead. You can easily find them. So, there you go. Next up, but before I go to the next book, of course, if you want to follow me on Instagram or Twitter, the links are down below, or it's at 8RandomNerd2016. My friend who made music is down below in the description down below as always. The comic book shop locator is down there as well. And the 2 websites I use for my information, LeagueofComicGeeks.com and MidtownComics.com. Now, to the book. We got a DC book. We got Crime Syndicate #3, written by Andy Schmidt, art by Brian Hitch, penciled by Kieran McCohen, inker by Dexter Vines, colors by Alex Sinclair, colorist by Steve Olive, letter by Rob Lee, cover art by David Finch and Romulo Fajardo Jr. The price of the book is $3.99, and of course, this is a description of the book. With the crime syndicate's forces combined for the first time, seeds are sown to change the world forever. But before that can happen, Ultraman, Superior, Johnny Quick, Autonomica, and Emerald Knight must survive a final battle with the biggest star of them all, and each other. Plus, Earth-3's Alexander Luthor makes his doubt. Question of the month. On Earth-3, are Sorrow's friends or foes? And then this backup story witness the origin of Superwoman. Crime Syndicate. I only read the first issue, and I like it. I don't know about the second issue. We're gonna see when I catch up eventually. But what I like about this, it's only 6 issues. So if you don't want to, be like, I don't know if this book's ever gonna get canceled. Is it gonna be ongoing? 6 issues. It has talented people behind it. I'm so down. And since death metal, we gotta hit more Crime Syndicate. I'm so down. So if you want to pick up this book, it's perfect jumping off point. We're in the middle of the story arc, so you want to hunt down the first 2 issues and the third issue when you're at the comic book shop. There you go. Next up, in the Image Comics book, we got Deep Beyond, number 4, written by David Goy and Mirka Andolfo. Art and cover art by Andrea Boccardo. The price of the book is $3.99, and of course, this is the description of the book. End of story arc. The gang finally reaches an underwater laboratory, and everything seems to turn out okay. They are closer to Pam, but the threats are not over yet, and Pam could not be out of reach. It was already obvious that this is not a happy ending story, right? I love the first 2 issues. Haven't read the third one just yet. I'm that far behind. But as we're getting closer to the mystery of what's going on in the first issue, I like what they bring up. There's questions, there's a mystery, and it's slowly being unraveled. If you want to pick up the issues, go right ahead. It's the ending of the first story arc, so you have time to pick it up to see what's going on. I do like it. It's a good mystery. I recommend it. Well, issue 1. Pick up issue 1 if you're interested. Next up, we get another Image book. We got Die, number 16, written by Kieron Gillen, art and cover art by Stephanie Hans. The price of the book is $3.99. And of course, this is the description of the book. New story arc, Bleed Part 1, to go into the dark. You have to get to the dark. They never put a dungeon anywhere accessible, do they? Past sins haunt our party, and future sins permeate the landscape. Die's closing arc begins as we began, with regrets and screaming. Okay, Die by Kieron Gillen. I highly recommend you read the first trade because if you like Jumanji, basically if you like the movie Jumanji, it's like that. But add kind of a Game of Thrones element. Throw that and throw some. Let's go. Let's age our characters up. Think of Narnia mixed with Game of Thrones and Jumanji, and there's your story with some magic. Come on. I have hunted out these issues. I've heavily enjoyed the book. Kieron Gillen has been writing a lot of my good, indie books that I've really enjoyed the past year or so. So I'm happy to see this book again because, man, I want to know what's going on with our characters because it's been a while. So to see it back on the list, happy to see it. Not going to jump on point, but I do recommend the trade. So there you go. Next up, we got a DC book. We got Green Lantern number 2, written by Geoffrey Thorne, art by Dexter Soy and Marco Santucci, colors and cover art by Alex Sinclair, letter by Rob Light, and cover art by Bernard Chen. The price of the book is $4.99, and of course, this is the description of the book. A guardian of the universe lies dead, and the universe teeters on the brink of war as the summit of the United Planets and the Green Lantern Corps fail into chaos. An even bigger threat looms. With John Stewart reassigned to the role of an ambassador, a surprise appearance by one of the newest Green Lanterns may be all that stands between the Corps and oblivion. Spoiler, it's Far Sector, Joe Mullen. Mullen? I don't know. But Green Lantern. I haven't read the first issue. I'm that far behind. But it's a Green Lantern book. I want Green Lantern. There's so many Green Lantern characters. We haven't seen Jessica Cruz. We haven't seen Simon Baz. And to see him in the... Well, it looks like they're in the cover. Simon Baz looks like it's in the cover, but not Jessica Cruz. But seeing more Green Lanterns is just like fun. After the space and scientific mind-blowing Grant Morrison book, to see it like a little bit, not so high concept, I'm down. Pick up the first issue. I picked it up. I haven't read it. I haven't shared my thoughts, but you know what? It's Green Lantern, and we can only go up or down. There we go. Next up, we got a Marvel book. We got Hellions number 11, written by Zeb Wells, head of X himself, Jonathan Hickman. Art and cover art by Steven Segovia, colors by David Curiel, designer by Tom Mueller, letter by Ariana Maher, and cover art by Rain Barreto. The price of the book is $3.99, and of course, this is a description of the book. Sometimes a fantasy, Psylocke versus Betsy Braddock in a 30-year-long battle. Empath's misdeeds come back to haunt him, and Mr. Sinister's teeth hurt. What is going on here? Hellions is back! Hellions is back. I love Hellions. They're the funnier version. They're Marvel's funnier version of Suicide Squad, but for X-Men. I love this book. Zeb Wells knows how to write a good comedy X-Men book, but it's just like so good. Oh, and of course, if you want to jump on, issue 9 is your jumping on point. So if you want to jump on there, there you go. Next up, we're getting a Marvel book. We got Heroes Reborn number 1, written by Jason Aaron, art by Ed McGuinness, cover art by Lainil Francis Yu. The price of the book is $5.99, and of course, this is a description of the book. A world without Avengers. Welcome to a world where Tony Stark never built an Iron Man armor, where Thor is a hard-drinking atheist who despises hammers, where Wakanda is dismissed as a myth, and where Captain America was never found. And yes, because there were no Avengers to find him. It's said this world has always been protected by Earth's mightiest heroes, the Squadron Supreme of America, and now the Squadron faces an attack from some of their fiercest enemies like Dr. Juggernaut, the Black Skull, the Silver Witch, and Thanos with the Infinity Rings. But why is the Daywalker Blade the one man alive who seems to remember that the entire world has somehow been reborn? I don't know how I feel about this. The premise is cool, but Jason Aaron, I don't know, man. I'm picking it up, but Jason Aaron's kind of been dropping the ball. I enjoy Jason Aaron. I praise his work in Thor. I love this early Avengers run. But could he handle an event? Will he make or break the event? We'll see. This is part 1, I think, of a 5-issue or 6-issue, event. But Blade is like the main forefront. I'm down. I'll read it. I'm reading it, and yeah, we're gonna see how much crazy we're gonna get. Yeah, we're gonna move on to the next book, which is Iron Fist. Well, Marvel Iron Fist, Heart of the Dragon number 5. It's written by Larry Hama, art by Dave Watcher, and cover art by Billy Tam. The price of the book is $3.99, and of course, this is a description of the book. Terror takes form. The hierophant of the eighth city rises. The dragons have fallen. What remains? Heaven itself is under siege, and only an Iron Fist can defend it. Iron Fist, Heart of the Dragon, 5-issue miniseries. It's done. Pick it up and trade if you want to pick it up. But if you want to read Iron Fist, either pick this or any of the previous runs that's happened. I'm just happy to get my boy Iron Fist in something. Because, man, he gets no love anywhere. I don't think I've seen him. I think the last time I've seen him was probably during that Moon Knight kind of thing in Avengers, where Moon Knight took away Iron Fist's powers, and I think before that he was in Contagion. So, for a guy who's really good at martial arts, he's not appearing anywhere. But Shang-Chi is, and you know what? That trailer looks dope, even though it's about a week old. I've watched that trailer like 5 times. I'm so hyped for Shang-Chi. I'm happy I read Jin Yang's Shang-Chi book. If you want a good Shang-Chi book, read The Trade by Jin Yang. So I recommend that. We're going to move on to the next book. It's a Marvel book. It's Immortal Hulk number 46, written by Al Ewing, penciler by Joe Bennett, inker by Rui Jose, colors by Paul Muntz, lettered by Corey Patet, and cover art by the legendary man himself, Alex Ross. The price of the book is $3.99, and of course, this is a description of the book. We thought they were dead. We thought they'd been banished, controlled, made harmless. We were wrong. The Gamma monsters are coming back, converging one by one on New York City. And who can stop them? Who can save us from the Immortal Hulk? Oh man, I love Immortal Hulk. If you've seen my past videos, I'm a big Immortal Hulk fan. I recommend the trade. Here's the thing. I recommend the trade. Read the trade and tell me that is not a good Hulk book. The Hulk train has just been going on and on for me. I've enjoyed every single issue. I praise every single issue. I don't think has had a bad single issue in my opinion. It's all worked out in the end, and it's reaching that issue 50. It's gonna end at issue 50, and I don't know who's gonna tackle Al Ewing's writing. I feel bad whoever's gonna take the next run. Think think about it. Batman's kind of easy to write. You just need to write him detective. Hulk has always been hard. Al Ewing did something where I don't think no one's ever seen someone do Hulk before. Make Hulk a horror story, and then make it more deeper. Add layers to it. Give him mythos. If you want to read a good Hulk book, read the first trade of Immortal Hulk. You will not. You will not be disappointed. A good jumping on point, no, but God, that book is amazing. Okay, we're going to move on to Marauders number 20, written by Gary Dugan, head of X himself, Jonathan Hickman, artist by Stefano Caselio, and colors by Edgar Delgado, lettered by Corey Patet, designer by Tom Mueller, and cover art by Matt Wilson and Russell Dodderman. The price of the book is $3.99. Of course, this is a description of the book. Eye of the Storm. As preparation for the Hellfire Gala come to a head, Aurora's eyes are pointed to the future, a future that takes her off the seas and over the horizon. Marauders. I like it. I like Marauders. And I didn't read the last issue, so I'm guessing this is a good jumping off one. Because I think it's getting this and then the Hellfire Gala. So it's prepping up for the new Age of X-Men that we're going to get in the next few books. So if you want to pick it up now. But read the first trade. It's very enjoyable. Next up, we got a DC book. We got The Next Batman, Second Son, number 2, written by John Ridley, art by Travel Foreman, art by Mark Morales, and cover art by Doug Braithwaite. The price of the book is $4.99, and of course, this is a description of the book. From the pages of Future State, The Next Batman, and Batman come the untold story of Lucius Fox's second son, Tim Fox, who is struggling to find his place in the family after having been gone so many years, and his younger brother Luke won't let him forget it. But Tim's investigation into Arcadine takes a turn when he realizes there's a connection with the shadowy Simon Saint. Meanwhile, Batwing is tearing into the underworld in search of Ratcatcher, looking for answers about his sister Tamara's relapse. Um. Okay, so I haven't read the first issue, so if you like Future State Batman, you're gonna like the next Batman Second Son. That's all I can tell you. Until I read the first 2 issues, I can tell you if it's a good jumping off point. But it's a Batman book. It's not Bruce Wayne. It's someone else. It's Lucius Fox's son. Read it. There you go. Here's the Batman book that doesn't involve Bruce Wayne. So there you go. Next up, we got an Image Comics. We got Nocterra number 3, written by Scott Snyder, art and cover art by Tony S. Daniel, and colors and cover art by Tomo Marie, and letter by And World Design, and designer by Emma Price. The price of the book is $3.99, and of course, this is a description of the book. Know the signs: black gums, gnarled bones, and haunting yellow eyes. When you spot a human shade out there in the endless night, run. I love the first issue of Nocterra. Haven't read the second issue. I feel so bad. Nocterra was really good. It hit the beats it needed. It's a fun indie where the dark is your enemy, kind of. It's a weird situation. It's just monsters, and there's this trucker who just is kind of just fighting monsters, but she has to take someone to a place, and that's going to involve some violence. So there we go. Next up, we got a DC book. We got Suicide Squad #3, written by Robbie Thompson, penciler and cover art by Eduardo Ponseca, inker and cover art by Julio Ferreira, and colors and cover art by Marcelo Miolo, and letter by Wes Abbott. The price of the book is $3.99, and of course, this is a description of the book. Task Force X finds a new target, and it leads the clandestine team right to the Teen Titans Academy. The devious and driven Amanda Waller continues her quest to form a more powerful squad. And next on her list, the Titans' new speedster, Bolt. But when the mysterious Red X gets in the way, he becomes Waller's next target. I like this. I like the description of this. Red X is going to be in it, and it ties into Titans Academy, so you can read both. But again, I haven't read the second issue. I read the first issue. I barely got on April's books, by the way. That's how bad I am. I'm on the first week of April's books. Let's see. Let me get the mouse. I am on April 7th's books. So you can tell I'm very far behind. But I like what they're doing with Suicide Squad. I think the first issue was fine. I like it, but if you want to read it, just read it and then decide for yourself. That's all I can tell you. And of course, our final book of the week, DC's Swamp Thing #3, written by Ramvi, art and cover art by Mike Perkins, and colors and cover art by Mike Spicer, and letter by Aditya Bidkar. The price of the book is $3.99, and of course, this is a description of the book. Reeling from his battle with the Pale Wanderer, Levi Kamei seeks the true nature of his transformations, and what better place to find his roots than the heart of the green itself. There, he and Jennifer will encounter the realm's many denizens, including one known as Holland and Poison Ivy. Who will aid Levi and who will harm him? If he is to pull Jennifer and himself back to the real world, Levi will need all the help he can get to tame the Swamp Thing running while within. Okay, here's my personal opinion. I love Swamp Thing, written by Ramvi. The first issue was so perfect. He wrote the future state Swamp Thing. I'm like, this dude gets Swamp Thing so well. And then they announced a book with him, so I'm like, I'm definitely getting this. Ramvi's writing a really good Catwoman and a really good Justly Dark. I think he wrote it better than Titan. Oh, that's throwing a little bit of shade, but I mean, Ramvi's been in the game for a while on DC, and you know what? I love his work. I think the dude is gonna be in places in the future. So if you want to pick up the first 3 issues. I haven't read the second issue, but I know for a fact the first issue is freaking phenomenal. But yeah, that's the end of the podcast. I try to make these a little bit quicker now, so yeah. But of course, everyone, that's the end. And of course, please be safe out there in this weird world. Be safe, clean your hands, and just check up on people. But yeah, that's the end of the show. And of course, take care and peace.